Hello, good morning, students. Students, let's start reading the rest of the part of this chapter number 4, the red trap, and we have to start the chapter from this passage. He accepted the fur coat which the valet handed him with a deep bow, threw it over his legs, and followed the young lady out to the carriage, without granting the astonished blacksmith so much as a glance. He accepted the fur coat which the valet handed him with a deep bow, threw it over his legs, being so much impressed to the kind words, to the gentle words, to the sympathetic words of the young girl Edla Wilmenson, the poor peddler accepted means took the accepted means here took the fur coat which was handed him over by the servant with a deep bow, bending down in a saluting form, and as soon as he got the fur coat, woolen coat, very warm coat from the servant, he put it over his, he threw it means he put it over his rags. The word rags stands for here worn and torn out clothes, and followed the young lady out to the carriage without granting the astonished blacksmith so much as a glance. So without paying any glance, without looking at the badly surprised, or astonished blacksmiths, the peddler started following the young lady to the carriage. So he did not look. The peddler did not cast a glance at the blacksmiths, who had completely ignored him, who had insulted him without giving any kind of love and respect, and even without speaking a single word to him. So the same, he also took the revenge of his insult, by avoiding them, by neglecting them, by ignoring them, while leaving the place, while coming out of the forge. But while he was riding up to the manor house, he had evil forebodings. The word foreboding stands for here demon, or you may say thoughts, feelings. While coming out of the forge and while following the young girl Edla Wilmenson, the peddler was thinking about the approaching evil thoughts, approaching problems and difficulties in his life. Evil foreboding stands for here something very bad, which meets a person in his life in the days come by. Evil forebodings means बुरे विचार, बुरे ख्यालात, बुरे विचार, कुछ अशुभ सा उसको लगना, इस प्रकार की यहाँ पर ये समझ देता है forebodings. The word foreboding stands for omen, O-M-E-N, omen. Omen means अशुभ होता है, something that looks very bad. So evil omen, अशुभ संकेत, बुराई से जुड़े हुए कुछ संकेत उसको नजर आने लगे. Why the devil did I take that fellow's money? He thought. He started thinking about that the very heinous task which he had performed, in stealing the money of the poor old crofter. So he called himself just like a devil, and he also started cursing him. Saying something very bad, especially for the task which he had performed very unwittingly, and he thought that he had fallen himself into very dangerous situation by his own hands, and no other person was responsible for the prevailing situation except he, because he had stolen. If he had not stolen the money, so he would not have been caught by such kind of dangerous situation. Why the devil did I take the fellow's money? He thought. उसने सोचा कि मुझ जैसे इस अपने आप को उसने दुष्ट कहा। मुझ जैसे बेकार व्यक्ति ने अपने आप को उसने बेकार कहना शुरू किया। मुझ जैसे एक बेबुद्धि व्यक्ति ने क्यों उस व्यक्ति के पैसे चुराए? क्या पड़ी थी मुझे पैसे चुराने की? नाउ आई एम सिटिंग इन द ट्रैप बिकॉज ऑफ द स्टोलन मनी. He also thought that he was sitting in the trap. He had been fully trapped, okay, and will never get out of it. And he also thought that he would never get out of that the very dangerous snare, dangerous ट्रैप. उसने यह भी सोचा कि देखो उस चुराए गए पैसों की वजह से मैंने अपने आप को इस फंदे में फंसा दिया है और मैं इस जाल से, इस फंदे से बाहर भी नहीं निकल सकूंगा. The next day was Christmas Eve, and when the iron master came into the dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade whom he had run across so unexpectedly. First of all, we must see to it that he gets a little flesh on his bones, he said to his daughter, who was busy at the table, and then we must see that he gets something else to do than to run around the country selling rat traps. But through these two passages, short passages, it is told to us, okay, that the iron master started thinking quite positively about the life of his old regimental friend, whom, okay, they had invited, whom they had brought their home. So as soon as the iron master entered the dining room, dining room for breakfast, he probably thought with satisfaction of his old regimental comrade. He probably started thinking only and only about his old regimental friend, comrade, okay, whom he had seen in the dim light of the burning coal in the night hours in the forge. Okay, so he also told his daughter Edla Wilmenson, saying that his friend had lost his all physical strength and he looked more like a skeleton than a healthy person, than a very fit and healthy person, and they must take care of his health first. They must feed him some such kind of food which could really bring some power and strength in his body. And he also told his daughter, okay, while sitting in the dining room, he also told his daughter Edla Wilmenson that it was their moral duty to provide him some better profession and better kind of job, okay, so that he could come out of that very tedious work, very tiring and tedious work of selling the rat traps, and he could start a new life, okay, So it was also suggested by the iron master to his daughter Edla Wilmenson. Okay, bete, it is clear that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that, said the daughter. Last night I did not think there was anything about him to show that he had once been an educated man. You must have patience, my little girl, said the father. As soon as he gets clean and dressed up, you will see something different. Last night he was naturally embraced. The tramp manners will fall away from him with the tramp clothes. So in this first passage, the author describes the feelings of Edla Wilmenson, okay, And while addressing the Iron Master, Erla Wilmenson, while addressing her father, Erla Wilmenson told her that when she caught the sight of the person, the man whom they had invited, whom they had brought their home, okay. So she got really so much surprised, thinking that such kind of person could hardly be an educated man, because his clothes, the overall condition of his clothes and the overall condition of his facial expressions represented it that he would have surely felt so much problem in his life. So she also quoted that there had been very bad time in his life, due to which the person had really lost his strength and almost each and everything in his life, and he looked like a beggar. So it is clear that things have gone downhill with him as badly as that. Means it was really very strange that the person had been the victim of so many difficulties in his life. Last night I did not think that there was anything about him to show. The previous night when she met in the indirect speech, so she also told that when she noticed the person the previous night, she could hardly think that the person could have ever been an educated man, since the overall condition of his clothes and facial expressions showed it that he looked more like a beggar than a man. Okay. Hearing the words from his daughter's side, the Iron Master convinced her, saying it that she must have some patience. She must wait for some more time, since as soon as his friend got clean and dressed up and he would take bath, okay, he would definitely look totally differently, and his old manners of tramp would surely fall down. He would not look like a peddler. He would not look like a tramp, homeless and wanderer, just like a beggar. Instead of looking like a tramp and a beggar, he would surely look totally different, and then she would notice that he would have been a very educated person in his life. Just as he said this, the door opened and the stranger entered. Yes, now he was truly clean and well dressed. The valet had bathed him, cut his hair and shaved him. Moreover, he was dressed in a good-looking suit of clothes which belonged to the Iron Master. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and whole shoes. Okay. No sooner had the Iron Master spoken his words, then the peddler opened the door, and being so much well groomed, having been fully well cleaned, okay, having been fully well cleaned, or you may say having looking like a groom, the person entered the dining room. When he entered, he looked totally different, because he had been given a nice bath by the valet. He had put on the beautiful clothes. He had also put on the coat and pant suit, which had not been, okay, which belonged to the Iron Master, and he had also got his long hair cut short. He had also got his long hair of the beard shaved. So each and everything had been properly well cleaned. In other sense, As soon as, you may say, no sooner had, just as he said this, the door opened, means both the actions took place at the same time, simultaneously. No sooner had the ironmaster spoken those the words, the door opened, the door of the dining room opened, and the stranger entered, and the peddler entered. When the peddler entered, he looked totally different. Now he did not look like a tramp, since he looked more like a groom, more like a bridegroom, okay, than a beggar. He had been given a very nice bath. He had got his long beard shaved. He had got his long hair on his head cut short, and he was also wearing the suit of the iron master. So his costume also looked very nice. Okay, at that time on his body. So everything looked totally changed. He wore a white shirt and a starched collar and whole shoes. At the time he was also wearing a white shirt and starched collar. Okay, starched means कलफ लगा हुआ collar होता है बेटा, kind of cloth which is put inside the collar. And whole shoes stands for here the shoes reaching up to knees. The shoes reaching up to knees, घुटनों तक के जो जूते थे उन सभी जूतों को पहन करके, फौजी जूते जो होते हैं, कई बार आपने देखा होगा कि आर्मी मैन जो होते हैं, आर्मी पर्सनल जो होते हैं, इस प्रकार के जूते पहनते हैं जो उनके घुटनों तक पहुंचे हुए होते हैं. तो पूरे घुटनों तक के उन सभी जूतों को पहन करके और वो उनके अपने डाइनिंग रूम में प्रकट हुआ, उपस्थित हुआ, सामने आया. But although his guest was now so well groomed, the iron master did not seem pleased. Oh, on the one hand, the stranger, that the peddler, looked so well groomed, but on the other hand, the iron master, looking at his face, felt displeased. He did not feel so much pleased. Okay, he looked at him with puckered brow. Puckered stands for here. The word brow stands for forehead, and puckered stands for here, filled with wrinkles, wrinkled forehead, reflecting the person is in some tension and worries. He looked at him with puckered brow. So the iron master, as soon as the stranger entered the dining room, so the iron master looked at him, and when he looked at him, so instead of getting so much pleased, okay, at the new experience, at the fine appearance and outlook of his old regimental friend, but he looked totally displeased, and he started looking at his face with much tension and worries. Okay, and it was easy. पकड़ ब्रो का मतलब ये होता है हिंदी में बेटा, झुर्रियों से भरा हुआ माथा, त्योरियों से भरा हुआ माथा. माथे में जैसे त्योरियाँ पड़ जाती है ना, तो आदमी कई बार माथे को थोड़ा सा दबा करके, और जब दबाते हैं तो ऊपर से दबाते माथे को थोड़ा सा, तो झुर्रियाँ पड़ जाती है, त्योरियाँ पड़ जाती है, उसके लिए आता है पकड़ ब्रो. And it was easy to understand that when he had seen the strange fellow in the uncertain reflection stands for a dim light from the furnace, he might have made a mistake. Now the iron master's eyes opened wide, and he had understood very clearly that he had made a very big mistake during the night hours. In the dim light of the burning coal, okay, coming from the side of the furnace, he had really made a very big mistake, and he had mistaken the person to be his old regimental friend, though he was not his old regimental friend. But that now when he stood there in broad daylight, since now the person was standing just before him in the daylight and everything was quite visible, there was no darkness, it was impossible to mistake him for an old acquaintance. Now he could not repeat the same mistake. It had been totally impossible to make the same mistake again. Okay, and now it was quite totally impossible for the iron master to make the same mistake again, to consider him his old acquaintance, familiar person. Now he understood that the man was not his friend, and he got himself fully cheated by the man. He thought that the man had cheated him. Oh, it was broadly cheating. What does this mean? He thundered. He thundered means he roared with anger. He shouted with anger. Very great, very sharply. Okay? He thundered, he roared, he shouted very sharply, he cried very sharply at the man, as if he wanted to kill him, as if he wanted to murder him at that time. And he asked what it meant, what that meant, what he meant by it all, what he meant by it all, moving such kind of hand, what it meant by it all. The stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. Dissimulate means hide, okay, conceal. The poor stranger, that the peddler, rat trap seller, did not try to conceal, did not try to hide anything from the ironmaster. He had spoken all the things very clearly. He had told about his life, okay, very clearly and frankly, that he was a poor trader. He had not made any kind of excuse at that time. He saw the stranger made no attempt to dissimulate. At that time, the stranger did not try to make any kind of effort to conceal his secrets, to conceal something from the ironmaster. He saw at once that the splendor had come to an end. He noticed, he understood. So means understood here. He understood that his all happiness, splendor stands for happiness. His all happiness had come to an end. He could hardly live in cheerful mood any longer, since his reality had drawn on the iron master, on the owner of the house. उसको समझ में आ गई थी कि मेरी वास्तविकता इस व्यक्ति के सामने आ गई है उभर करके, और इस व्यक्ति को सब पता चल चुका है कि मैं इसका दोस्त नहीं हूँ. रात्रि के समय इस व्यक्ति से कहीं इस तरह की कोई गलती हो गई थी कि वहाँ उस भट्टी में जल रहे कोयले की हल्की सी रोशनी में कहीं वो समझ पाने में भूल कर गया था, और उसने मुझे अपना दोस्त समझ लिया था, लेकिन अब वह इस प्रकार की गलती नहीं कर सकता है. It is not my fault, sir, he said. I never pretended to be anything but a poor trader, and I pleaded and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge, but no harm has been done. At worst, I can put on my rags again and go away. When the peddler learnt that the iron master, that the manor, that the rich man had been very furious and he could take any hard action against him, so he very frankly told him that, sir, he had never tried to hide anything from him. He had never pretended to be anything, but means except a poor trader, a poor businessman, a poor rat trap seller. And I pleaded transparently, and he also requested humbly, okay, and begged to be allowed to stay in the forge. He also told him that he should remember the time when he had requested him to give him permission to stay there in the forge during the night hours, since he wanted to stay there and did not want to come with him or with his his home. उसने कहा कि ज़रा याद करें सर कि मैंने आपको बार बार यही कहा था कि मैं यहीं पर आराम करना चाहता हूँ, मैं आपके साथ आपके घर जाना नहीं चाहता हूँ, लेकिन आपने अपने बेटे को भेजा और मुझे यहाँ बुलवाया है. At worst I can put on my rags, but no harm has been done. He also told the iron master that he had faced no such kind of harm by that time which could hurt his feelings, since nothing had gone against him by that time. उसने कहा कि अभी तक मेरे साथ में कोई घटना घटित नहीं हुई है, अभी भी कुछ नहीं बिगड़ा है. At worst, okay, I can put on my rags again and go away. सबसे खराब से खराब, it is the superlative degree of the adjective bad. उसने कहा कि यदि बहुत बुरी से बुरी बात है तो he also told him that if he considered himself the most unluckiest man if he considered himself the unluckiest man, so he could, considering himself the unluckiest man, he could again wear his torn out and worn out clothes and leave the place. ख़राब से ख़राब बात यही हो सकती है कि सर मैंने आपके वस्त्र जो पहन रखे हैं, जो मैंने आपके वस्त्र जो सूट इत्यादि पहन रखे, मैं इनको उतार करके अपने वही पुराने वाले वस्त्र धारण कर लेता हूँ और मैं यहाँ से खिसक जाता हूँ, चला जाता हूँ. ओके बेटे. Well, said the iron master. Well, said the iron master, hesitating a little. It was not quite honest either. Iron master got again angry and told him that it was not the part of his honesty. He must have told him at the time when he met him during the night hours that he was not his friend. But why didn't he tell him? It means he had also cheated him on his part. You must admit that I should not be surprised if the sheriff would like to have something to say in the matter. And he also threatened him saying that he would hand him over to the sheriff, okay, higher authority of the police department. He also told him, threatened him saying that he would like to hand him over to the sheriff, the policeman, and they would ask him about each and everything regarding what happened in the previous night. The tramp took a step forward and struck the table with his fist. Hearing such kind of words from the iron master, the tramp got badly harassed and badly angry. He got really much furious, and since he wanted to show something to the iron master, and he wanted to tell something about his philosophical ideas. That's why he struck the table with his fist. He put his fist on the table very hard in order to tell something to the iron master. As soon as he put his fist on the table very hard, the iron master got silent, became speechless, and he started listening to the voice of the peddler. Wait, the rest of the part will be attended by us in the next lecture. Thank you.